to get situated.
Can you just talk me through exactly what everything does in here?
So this is going to be for scrotum filler. So this is Volbella. It's one of the thinnest fillers on the market. So I'll use this for scrofill. And then I will prep the filler for the girth enhancement when the patient arrives.
Okay, Chris, you need to pause. All of this?
It's going to be for scrotum.
All of that is in scrotum. That looks like a lot.
It's 40 syringes. Yeah.
And this is just the scrotum?
That's just the scrotum?
Yeah. Do you need me to hold your hand?
Hey guys, it's Hink here. And so my boy Caleb sent me this video and he was like, Hink, you have to do a video about it. And yeah, I have to. This is about one of the, I'm assuming the doctor, I mean, you have to have some special license to be able to practice this, especially somewhere like New York City. But he specializes in basically genital fillers for men. There is so much to break down here, guys. Let's just jump right into it. From the start, just let me say, like, they're talking about scrotum fillers. Guys, the bigger your nuts look, the smaller your D is going to look proportionally. Fundamentally, that does not make sense to me why you would want to have like a big old puffed up scrotum. Kind of like I don't understand how guys pump their balls and D as well at the same time. I just don't understand why you want to do that. And that's why a lot of these biggest adult stars are the ones that actually are on like TRT and they have these tiny or even non-existent nuts, like Chris Diamond, for example. Like if you look, it's just like D goes like straight down into basically his, because he has no testicles. But anyways, and it's also weird to me that like I think genital size largely is like tied to masculinity, but then like there are these two very effeminate men that are like getting this procedure. I don't know. That's just weird to me. Call me old-fashioned.
He'll sit down first initially, and like, we'll give him a trimix injection. I'll give him the numbing injection. We'll cover him with some numbing cream, and then I will actually put him all the way up, and he'll lay like flat. Like this will be up flat, okay. So that way I can just stand and do what I'm doing versus being like hunched over.
Yeah, right.
Because otherwise I'll just kill my back.
Yeah.
First of all, you need to be very clear about something. So trimix injections. I have a client on my Patreon, patreon.com/DocHink, and I'm coaching through this. But he was actually given through a men's health clinic in Boston injections for trimix that he could do at home, and he loved it because he had rock solid erections and it was like amazing until he freaking developed Peyronie's disease from it. Please listen to me when I say this yet again. Any kind of trauma piercing the tunica can increase rates of things like Peyronie's disease and penile fibrosis. Here is a study here which literally says that in these rats, some of these rats even just had placebos where they were just injected with the needle and injected with normal saline, and they still had increased rates of the markers for fibrosis like TGF-beta and rates of actual literally fibrosis developing at the penile area where the tissue was injected. So please think twice before you do any kind of injections into your penis.
Is this one of these blood spinny things that you
Yes,
see?
that is a centrifuge. That is for making PRP for the P-shot. So it's a double spin centrifuge. So you draw up the blood. I draw up like 120 mLs of blood when I do P-shot, and I convert it down to 14 mLs of PRP.
Right.
So that's what this bad boy is for.
I've made at least 2 videos on the P-shot, okay? P-shot, or like P-shot, does nothing. There is zero clinical evidence that it does anything for actual penile enlargement. Please watch my other videos. There is evidence that it can help with things like mild erectile dysfunction and potentially recovering from penile injuries. Reasonable data for that. But as far as making you bigger, both the published literature and anecdotally, it will not do that. So please understand that. These clinics are going to try to market it and charge thousands of dollars for you to pay out of pocket, and it doesn't do anything for actual size enlargement.
This is Drew. Hello.
Hey, John, nice to meet you. Hi. Rue's on camera over there.
Hey, Rue.
Let's just have a quick chat before, because I want to hear about how you're feeling.
All right.
Oh, you're really high. Hold on. No, it's fine.
Okay.
There we go. So how are you feeling?
I'm excited, a little nervous.
Yeah.
I'm mostly excited, yeah.
And have you worked with Chris before? Have you done anything else?
Yeah, I've had Botox, some lip fillers, he did junk filler on me before as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
This is just sad for me. Like, this is the current age that we live in. No, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I have actually had Botox injections into my face. I have no shame in my game with that by trying to like minimize and prevent wrinkle development. But when we live in this like Instagram age of like people used to having filters on all their pictures and stuff, and they want to look like that in real life, they're doing like fillers and all these cosmetic procedures to actually not look like an actual human being.
What would you rather be, 52 and look 52, or be 52 and look like a 28-year-old lizard?
I don't know, man. It's just so sad. And I'm not here to judge anybody, okay? Considering like I literally have done enlargement and have a little side hustle like helping guys actually enlarge the size of their junk. But it's just, I don't know, this is just sad to me. He's had so many procedures done in this quest for perfection and, you know, probably his deep-seated insecurity that he needs to address.
In terms of what you're looking for, are you looking for a very noticeable change or a slight increase? What's the desire on your side?
I just the main thing that brought me to this was I was like, I want to have a nice bulge in the summer, like in a Speedo, because I've never felt fully confident in my Speedo bulge or just walking around on the nude beach or something like that. So
Yeah.
I figured I was like, let me give it a try this summer and just check it out. Yeah, I'll be flopping around the beach.
This guy is just sad to me. Like, I literally just feel bad for him. I don't know his life. I don't know what he's been through. But so you want to look good in a Speedo. So you're going to pay thousands of dollars and take potentially significant risks for a temporary bigger bulge with, I'm assuming hyaluronic acid injections. You want a bigger bulge in a Speedo, buy one of these little shitty things from Amazon where you can literally have a cup and like feel like you have a big pee-pee walking around the beach. You should watch either my flaccid tier list video or my growers versus showers videos. It's actually very feasible for you to increase the size of your flaccid penis. It's actually far easier to do that naturally than to actually enlarge the size of your erect penis. But you want to have some temporary increase in size, just put your D in a pump, like of course a high quality pump from Peak Male Physique, but put your D in a pump it up, before you get all bloated and edema-y, and you'll have a nice solid hang before you go out on the beach. Like, problem solved. You can avoid these expensive injections.
Chris said to me when I interviewed him is actually, it's not necessarily about the erect size. People want to feel more that their flaccid state is more relaxed and bigger.
Yeah.
So is that kind of a huge perk for you?
That's a huge perk for me. Yeah, that's what took me to it, especially because we go to like underwear parties, junk shop parties, stuff like that. Like, I just want to be more confident in what I'm wearing and not always constantly worried about making sure it's looking as pronounced as it can be. It's just sitting there and doing its thing.
I'm not here to judge about this lifestyle, but like, how is he that exposed where his flaccid D is just constantly? But I know nothing about the gay world or like what they do for fun, but that's just wild to me. Number two, guys, you have to understand, Callie, zoom like all the way in. There are no surgeries that can increase the size of your erect penis, okay? I'm going to say that again. There are no surgeries that can increase the size of your erect penis. The only thing that has questionable evidence, hyaluronic acid injected into the glands of your penis, so the glands of your penis sticks out a little bit further, and you would technically have more length that way. Things like the pneuma, hyaluronic acid injections, suspensory ligament surgery, all of those things can only increase the flaccid size of your D, guys. So just keep that in mind if you're ever interested in doing one of these very risky procedures.
Yeah, that's a lot of syringes going in me every year.
Does that make you feel any certain like type of way seeing it laid out?
It makes me feel like, whoa, it's going to be a pretty good bulge.
Yeah. And this is just the scrotum.
That's just the scrotum?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the penis.
He's going to be walking around with like this big old filled up scrotum, and then, he's getting injections into his D as well. But like, his general package is going to be bigger, but the actual size of his D proportionally is going to look smaller. Like, I don't understand what the point of this is. I'm going to put some papers up on the screen, okay? So the first one is talking about what we call a scrotal siliconoma, where you actually have a complication from silicone injections requiring major penis and scrotal surgery to correct. Here's another paper resulting in what we call necrosis or cell death, infection, and the need for what we call a scrotal flap, meaning they take a flap of skin from somewhere else in your body and cut off your scrotum and then attach that new skin graft because of complications of surgery. And guys, here's even an article from the FDA talking about the risks of doing certain types of injections into your scrotum. Please ask yourself, is this really worth it if you're considering this? If you felt this passionately about it, you could put a pump on your scrotum. You could draw in a bunch of fluid and you could get a big old puffed up scrotum. And then you can feel good if that's your jam. But some of these surgeries that can have major life-threatening complications, especially if you get an infection, have to get your scrotum and your nuts removed. Like, this is not hyperbole, guys. This is real life. There are case reports of this happening.
So what I'm going to do first is prep a trimix injection. So this is a small injection that goes into the penis, gives the patient artificial erection, meaning that they don't have to think about anything to get erect. So lots of people use this who don't respond to Cialis and Viagra. Porn stars use this to film because it can just get them hard without having to think about it. They can stay hard for longer. Now, I put in very, very little. My goal is not to have the patient to be rock hard. I just don't want them to be fully retracted because then that will affect, like the results of me being able to visually see all the areas of the penis.
This is very solid insight. You're like, man, you see some of these adult stars and you're like, how in the world is it that hard for that long? Well, guys, they use injections like Trimix. They abuse other things, at least Cialis and Viagra and drugs like that, to try to get their maximum erection quality. I do like that he kind of throws that out there like, oh, by the way, guys, this is a trick of the trade.
Quick. So if this is the penis, this is the head, this is the base. In the pubic area above the penis is where I'll inject some numbing. That'll numb his full penis, and I will also cover his penis and his scrotum with numbing cream.
Can't stress enough the inherent danger of this. You're injecting some sort of numbing medication into basically the nerve, artery, and vein area as it comes through the suspensory ligament onto the dorsal surface of the penis, guys. That's why certain devices like the bathmate device, if you put it on there and you're jamming it into your pelvis in that area, you can cause permanent nerve damage. If this guy is doing this and accidentally sneezes, you know, there's just so much that can go wrong. I just don't understand it. And maybe I'm blessed that I don't have to understand it. If you guys have been interested in this or had it done, please let me know your mindset and what you were thinking in getting this done. And are you happy with it?
Re-exploring masturbation.
It'll be a bit different. It's gonna be bigger. Everyone always saying it's like holding someone else's penis.
I've seen this before. You haven't seen my like 3-year anniversary video. Like it's still there is this sensation that every now and then I'm like, whose D is this? For those that don't know my journey, I put on over 1.5 inches in length and over 1 inch in girth. Yes, I do have before and afters actually available on Reddit right now, but also I have my Hink trial, which I published, that actually showed it's 6 guys on average gained 0.5 inch in length and 1/4 inch in girth with pictures that you can see. If you're interested, it's probably a pinned comment. The link is in the description, but it is possible to get bigger. And when you do get bigger, you're like, holy moly, I can't believe this is actually, this is actually my D.
Small can be an issue. So if some guys are particularly very small in length, then it could be an issue in regards to being able to make it look natural and not, chody, so to speak.
Yeah, right.
Where it looks too thick and they don't have the length to support it.
This is actually a testament to why you should consider using, like, if you are going to go through this route for girth, like, in my opinion, I think you should maximize your length with an extender. Guys, there's plenty of published literature showing that extenders work to increase the size of your penis. In this case, if you were interested in this, and I have guys actually ask me this exact question, and I say, please just pursue some length work. Do length work for 6 months. Go from like, let's say an average of about 5.2, add 0.5 inch, okay? You can go to 5.7, you're towards the bigger end or almost out of that normal standard deviation range, and then get your filler. That way you'll have a longer PP, then it'll be thicker, and the overall volume of your penis is going to increase if you feel like you have to go the filler route. But if you get fillers done, you are going to be limited in your ability to do other PE, because like putting on an extender, putting on a compression, like any of that stuff can disrupt the hyaluronic acid in fillers and make you have literally like a permanent Quasimodo D. So please be careful with that.
That's a huge portion of what brings people here, is that a lot of guys are average length when they're erect. They just retract a lot and they're quite small when they're flaccid. That's easy to work with. That we can actually really change their lives, because this will basically physically modulate preventing the retraction of their penis getting a lot smaller. So that way they're able to actually stay longer when they're flaccid, and they feel so much more empowered because they're able to kind of just actually have what they already do have on display when they are flaccid.
He's not wrong here, but I'm just saying, so, okay, take for example, my Hink trial. On average, the guys gained 0.5 inch in flaccid length and 0.3 inches in flaccid girth at 6 months. And so, yeah, it takes a lot of work. I mean, and rather than just going in for an hour-long, injection or procedure or whatever that may be. But the point is that there's other means that are, arguably safer and more permanent than actually going through injections to actually increase your flaccid size. If you haven't seen my flaccid size increase like tier list, please check it out.
Do you think it helps, Chris, that you're gay? Does it help your eye with this?
Oh, I think that definitely you have to be open to the idea of looking at the penis as you would look at the face in an artistic way. Because if you just think about wanting to make it bigger, then you're just gonna have a lot of weird looking penises. And that's what's out there, in my opinion, is what these other providers, they just make it bigger and it doesn't look good.
People would do it to themselves.
For sure. Yeah, people do that all the time. I think that for me, I always worry about like perception drift, because you do kind of lose perception of like what you look like in every aspect when it comes to filler. Yeah. And I think that that's normal. It is normal to have, a degree of perception drift. But at the same time, like, if you're just looking at it from your perspective, you can quickly kind of lose sight of what you actually look like. And that's why you think you see so many, even other injectors, like start to look kind of weird because they are self-injecting. I think that when you have a friend kind of like keep you in check.
Now, guys, where this actually can become more of a problem is like even my guys that are doing regular PE, if you don't have good before pictures, you don't have good documentation, something like a clone of Willy, something to compare it to, as you get bigger, in your mind, you're going to move the goalposts. If you went from 6 inches to 7 inches, you're going to get used to seeing 7 inches. And if you're not careful, you're going to think you're small again because, you're just used to seeing that all the time. So just please be careful with that, guys.
Drew, have you done any other sort of penis enlargement before? Any tools, pumping?
No.
Nothing.
This part is just kind of sad to me. So this dude just jumped the gun and went right to one of the more invasive, dangerous, and expensive things where he hasn't even tried pumping. Like, seriously, to not even try pumping and just to try to see what the temporary gains are, it would blow your mind if you were to just put on a pump for like 2 sets of 5 minutes, and then put on a Speedo and just see how much of like more of a hang and a much more like flaccid size you have just from that alone. This guy hasn't even tried that and is potentially putting his literal life at risk to do this. Is just crazy to me.
And like you said to me when we spoke, rarely would you put it in someone's glands, the end of the penis.
I can do it. It's just not very impactful.
Yeah.
I have patients that love it. It's people who don't really have budgets. It's just not the most impactful because the head is sponge. It's not skin.
Yeah, right.
So it just doesn't fill up the same way.
I'm not trying to question his knowledge or anything, but there's actually very clear evidence that for things like premature ejaculation, like in this meta-analysis here, that it absolutely makes a big difference with having injections into the glands of your penis. Now, it is a bit more risky, but like I said before, there's also evidence of it potentially increasing length, because if your glands is normally this big and you inject it and it goes to this big, even if it's just 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch, that is technically an increase in length. But I agree, I would not recommend it.
And do you typically care about the size of a guy's penis? No.
No.
Not in a romantic sense or hooking up sense, no, it doesn't bother you.
Doesn't bother me.
It's interesting that it wouldn't bother you, but it bothers you that you want to change it yourself.
Yeah, I know.
This is like the quintessential example of like the folly of man. It's like no matter how many times I published a study showing that women are satisfied, a study showing 87% of women are satisfied about the size of their guy's D. It doesn't matter how many times you hear it. This guy is in the gay community. He literally has male partners and is exposed to penises. And he's saying, it doesn't matter to me about size. But yet here he is in this clinic getting injection. That's why like I literally feel bad for this guy. And I'm not trying to like bag on him or anything. I'm just saying I feel bad for him. Like I really think he needs some sort of psych evaluation. Just like the cognitive dissonance that is present there to be like, oh, well, no, I don't care about size. But then to try to go through something this extreme for more size is just wild to me. And not even erect size, just flaccid size.
No hot tubs, no pools, no saunas for 3 days, no sex for 3 days, no masturbating for 3 days. Otherwise, you're good to walk around, you can run errands, all that's fine. I'm going to prescribe you some doxycycline for you to have for just, infection prevention, and then also a pack of prednisone that's going to help with some of the inflammation to bring that down faster. So just take those as instructed. Always kind of recommend taking that with some food so you're not taking out an empty stomach. Week by week will look better and better. I always say that at 3 weeks you should expect to be more or less 90% healed. 6 weeks 100% healed. You'll be massaging your penis for 15 minutes every single day, starting tomorrow night. So today, nothing. Tomorrow night, before bed, you'll shower, wash some water, and then you'll put some Vaseline on your penis and start massaging.
That's like a pretty intense regimen, okay? Once again, because of the things like infection prevention and making sure this stuff deposits. Guys, you have to understand that when you do fillers of any kind, but especially even hyaluronic acid fillers, you can literally get these little granules that develop. Callie's going to put some on the screen, obviously, from like lip fillers or cheek fillers, where you get these hard nodules. If that happens, they literally have to go back in with something that's called hyaluronidase and actually inject it and break down that hyaluronic acid in order to fix it. If you're not careful, there was even a guy on Reddit recently that had the hyaluronic acid injection fillers, and he even posted pictures of his like lumpy D because either just through bad luck or he accidentally did something wrong, slept funny, but it left literally a bunch of dents and he was left with this deformed penis, okay? So please be careful with this, guys, and just ask yourself, is it really worth it if you're trying to consider fillers?
How does it feel now?
It still feels numb, but yeah, otherwise fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess you can't actually feel the sensation of having
No, I
a
can't
slightly
feel
larger
anything.
front.
No, not at all. It's very numb right now. It feels like there's nothing.
Yeah.
How do you feel watching it? Did you think it looked like something you could?
I don't know. I don't know if I could. I don't know. It was a lot of injections, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I feel like my friends they'll probably notice a difference because all my friends have seen me naked at the Nude Beach Fire Island parties, this and that. So they'll probably notice without me even saying anything. But we'll see.
Have you told your friends?
Some friends, yeah, I've told, and they're like, I want to do it. I want it. I want it. So.
I get the impression that this dude is never going to truly be happy like with his body and is always going to be doing kind of just cosmetic procedures, injections, and all for this pursuit of perfection. This to me is like a true definition of body dysmorphia. I hope this guy is happy. I literally wish him well. I'm also very impressed and proud of him for sharing his journey, because this journey has helped a lot of guys, and hopefully a lot of guys have seen this and been like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. But regardless, like, he had the balls to get up there and actually like share his story. So seriously, mad props to him. I'm not trying to bag on him at all. And mad props to the dude who did this documentary. I'm going to leave the link to his YouTube in the description as well. It's kind of crazy now that I'm like 50K plus, actually like 54,000 subscribers, maybe more by this point. I'm like, oh man, because I see his channel and it's got like, I don't know, like 21,000 subscribers. And I'm like, wow, like he put out a piece like this and I've got 50K. Like it's just kind of a mind F. Let me know if you guys want me to try to collab with this guy or go to his video and tell him Hink sent ya. Maybe he'll want to reach out and we can do some sort of collaboration for you guys. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you think. Is this something you would ever consider? Have you done it? What has been your experience? Have you ever encountered somebody who's either thought about it or has done it? Like, I really want to know what you all think about it. And there has been actually a very good amount of good discussion in the comment section here recently. So I really appreciate that, guys. In my opinion, you know, whatever, I just think that there's other things that you can do that would be more effective and are less risky, like more traditional PE methods, okay? But obviously that's what this channel is for. And of course, you know, check out my video, my pumping playlist, or even my medications playlist. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Just remember, you are so much more than the size of your D. I wish this guy who did this knew that he was so much more than the size of his freaking D. But there's nothing wrong with self-improvement, and you are enough just as you are. All right, guys. Peace and love.
Dr. Hink got the plug on the health, yeah. Got you thinking about your wealth, yeah. In his office, no stealth, yeah. Pinnacle of that below the belt, yeah. Checks and balance, he's managing. Working miracles, no damage. Got you covered, no panicking. Steady calm. In the clinic, no vanishing. Yeah, with Doc Hink, it's the way back.